Good afternoon, everybody. Well, we have another day, and in this part of the country, we have another snowstorm. I don't know where you are, but we're all just kind of tired of this snow around here. Of course, it is still winter, even though, spring is around the corner, it is still winter. But it's beautiful out. It looks like winter wonderland again. But we all are kind of tired of the snow. Just curious as what it is doing in your part of the country today, in your part of the world. Well, let's embark, I thought I'd embark, that is, on another, I gotta get that centered, on another little Easter tutorial here. I did one, I worked on a tutorial landscape this morning, on a part 2 of when I started, so you can check that out as well. But we're just gonna kind of get going. I drew this out here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this basket. So what we're going to do is wet our brush. I'm using a round pointed brush. This is a 5, size 5. You can use whatever brush you like. It's just what I think will work out for this. And so the basket is brown, of course, with some highlights of white and so forth, and yellow ochre and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm wetting my brush, and I'm going to actually just, now because it's wet and my brush is wet as well, we're having movement, which is, what I want at the moment. We're just going to kind of go around this. You want to, watercolor dries light. So this basket is actually a dark brown, but I want to start with like brown and yellow ochre. And as you can see, I'm trying to go around my little flowers here. Now, I have these little white flowers here. Here's a little lesson. I did not mask them out. I don't know what it is about that stuff. I just really don't like it. So I'm going really careful around my flowers and around my eggs that I did not add water to. Because right now, all I want to do is fill in the basket area. Okay? Just to make, that all clear. And I'm just going to get that all filled in. And then what I'm going to do is go to some sepia, take some water off my brush, and I'm just going to make these little side of my brush strokes to start the indication of the basket weave. And remember, this is a painting, not a photograph, so it is certainly not going to look like a picture. It's a photograph. I mean, it's not a photograph. It's a, sometimes your tongue just gets so tied. That's been quite tied today for some reason. I'm really not sure. But anyway, we're just going to keep like layering in, okay, these, and even kind of like let it jet out to the side a little bit, because it's actually looks, I want to depict the basket's kind of old. And then for the handle, I'm going to add that in as well. And I want this variegation of like of the brown and the yellow ochre. And what I'm going to do, I gotta let this dry a little bit before I do anything more with that, but I'm going into my white, and this is actually acrylic white. I actually like to use acrylic whites. I don't always. I have Chinese white, and I use Chinese white quite often, but I've been wanting to kind of mix the use the acrylic white, yellow, one green, and Indian yellow, because I absolutely love that color. Okay, so I'm gonna Now that it's drying a little bit, we can come in here and start adding. It's very easy to do a basket. It's so simple, you know, because we want to think, we need to think painting, not photograph. So, you know, we want the depiction of the basket, not like we're, you know, oops, I got the wrong color there. Well, that's okay, because in this type of a situation, we want to have the different colors, actually. The more colors, blending of colors and different colors you can get in is even better. So a tip for when you're using your watercolor brush with your, you know, your watercolor brush with also with acrylic or something, especially acrylic, because it's mixed media. You want to make sure that you wash that out really well afterwards, because it's going to dry hard and on your brush, and it's going to ruin your brush, and you're going to, you know, you're going to not be happy with yourself that you used the mixed media in the same painting when you don't have to be. So just thought I'd say that. I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and yellow ochre and mix that together so I can get some lighter areas here. Okay. And there's our basket. I mean, how simple was that? And it's so easy to do. Really is so easy to do. And that's kind of a point I'll make right here. Stick it in, is that don't be afraid to start these things. I made myself wait. I didn't make myself, but I caused myself to wait so long to get into watercolor. I just constantly told myself, because I did acrylic for years upon years upon years, and I just told myself, you know, I can't do that. You know, what am I talking about? I don't know how to do that. And it was just seemed to be, you know, really involved in something that it was just, you know, just no, I couldn't do it. Even though I was doing acrylic and did very nicely at, and still do nicely at it. Sold paintings and so forth, and people, you know, really liked my work. But I would tell myself, no, I can't do that. You know, that they can, I can't. And I wasted all those years that I could have been learning this art, this medium. Oh, I get so frustrated when I think about it, but now I am. And I started teaching myself quite some time ago. And I just, when I teach myself something, I really go for it until I know. If I really want to do it, I do it until I've got it, till I've learned it. And it's an ongoing process, of course. I mean, you never learn everything, and there's always evolving things, and we evolve in our art when we learn it, and, you know, all that stuff. But it took me so long. I just can't believe that I listened to those, you know, voices in my head. So my suggestion is, do not listen to those types of voices in your head. Actually, no matter what it is, if you want to do it, get your materials, do some learning first. I did a lot of learning first. That's how I learn anything. I research it, I learn about it, I watch, you know, people that know how to do it, and I watch what they're doing, and, you know, that whole thing, until I feel like I've got a good understanding of it, and then I start applying it. So, I mean, that's it. That's what you do. And now I absolutely love it. I really hardly do any acrylic anymore. I mostly do just watercolor. It's just absolutely so much fun, and such a magical type of, I'm making the grass underneath the basket at the moment, so that's why I'm chattering away while I do that. So we've got that. We're gonna have to come back in and put some highlights in again, but that's good for now. And then I'm gonna take some white and go, because we're kind of drying here for the basket. We're getting dry, So I want some of the white to stick out quite a bit for the highlighting. See how that happens, and now that it's a lot drier, that's not going to fade very much. All right, so there's our basket started, and now we got the grass. I'm using here a smaller brush, and it's a brown pointed brush. This is called a Transon. I have lots of brushes, as most all watercolor artists do. I mean, you won't start that way, but you'll end up that way if you, you know, go for it. Nothing wrong with that. I've just acquired different brushes along the way. Okay, so now what we're going to do here, I put my paintbrush into the paint, and I've got green and yellow. I actually want a little lighter green. Oops, the sun is kind of like right in my window. All right, so what I'm going to do is take this very tip of my brush, and I'm going to make a lot of these little wisps of stems, grass, and we're going to start with a little bit lighter green here, and then we're going to move into some darker. We're going to add darker to it as we go, but I'm just putting the light touch on first, and we'll get some darker, and we'll sort of using the very tip for these fine lines and a very light pressure, very, very light. I can actually also use a smaller one if I want to. I just happen to grab this one. After you get used to painting, you'll be able to do small areas with larger or smaller brushes. Once you get used to it, it's like anything else. You have to get used to it. You have to learn it. Practice, practice, practice. It's what that's all about, and anything else is all about that you want to learn. This is a passion for me, so when I got going on it, I just really, really got going on it, if you know what I mean. So I was bound and determined that I was going to teach myself this, and I did. Actually surprised myself, to tell you the truth. So now I'm coming over here to this side where I have some longer, and just wisp some little things coming off the branch. And I think I am going to switch to one of my smaller pointed brushes here. Here it is. I didn't think I had the right one. This is a size 4, and I want to just kind of come in here, and there we go. And I want to add some red, a little bit of reds in here. So I've got some red happening in one spot, greens, and I want to put these little tiny little things on all the little stems, because off of them will all be these little leaves. So that's what these are. And the same thing over here, actually. I'm going to incorporate in some of the red, a little bit of the red here into my green. Little tiny little, you know, they're just more part of the stems. So we have that going. Okay, so we've got the greenery. Sort of keeping my bunny waiting. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white and some yellow ochre, and I wanted to make, okay, I need more white. All right, so that we have, you know, the grassy stuff coming out of the basket and flowing over, you know, type thing. Really light color. And some over here. I don't know why this brush is not staying. see? All right, that's going to be that. Now what I think I'm going to do is start some of my bunny. This all here is dry, where I want to just go here. I'm going to wet this little area of the bunny, only this little area right now. Carefully going around my flower, and then carefully going around this egg. Just this part of this cute, adorable little bunny's chest. Okay, so his bottom fur is more like a nice light wash of, we're going to use the yellow ochre, which has by now has reds and greens and browns, which is exactly how I do my color mixing basically in my paintings. I literally don't think about it very much. I just start going, and then I end up with these beautiful things from my palette. People always say, how do you do, where do you, how do you figure out your color blends? And the thing is I don't really, I just kind of do it as I go. If you saw my palette right now, you'd know what I was talking about, but I don't want to, well, I'll show you in a minute. Let me get these little wisps of, because what we're doing right now is the fur. But you see all these little, I had green going on, I did blues and greens, and I've had red, and I've had everything. And what happens is I'll look at it and I'll see, oh, that's a really cool blend right there. And wherever I think I might want it, that's where I put it. And for some reason, that has just worked out so cool and so nice. And it's something that people seem to pick out and like. So hey, that's just absolutely wonderful for me. I love it. So we're doing fur right now, and right now is his. When I do fur as well, I don't stroke it so much as I dab it. I'm putting in the browns with the tip of my brush here, and these are his shadow areas here under his chin. That's what I'm depicting at the moment. And then he's got all kinds of colors, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to, oops, I guess we need some more on my brush here. Put it in there, and I'm just going to dab it in here and there. I want to leave light spaces, especially in the very front right here. In the very front, I just want, now we got somebody out there plowing, making a lot of noise, I guess. Lots of snow around here. The landlord of this place has been really just having to, it's a huge place. He's really have had to do a lot of work around all the snow and everything. But he keeps it up nice, so that's really good. Once a bit of that is drier, I'm going to, I will go in and add more so the white shows more. But right now I'm just sort of depicting all the brown that he's got going on. Okay. All right, so now, because I love to have the yellow, acrylic yellow, so that it's bright and it just sort of goes over everything, I'm choosing, this is, as I said in the description, it's mixed media. So I'm going to be using, for the yellow, probably most of the time, I'll be using this nice acrylic yellow to stand out. So I want those flowers to really jump off the page. So we're going to do it that way for that. And then I'm going to take some, I think this is burnt sienna. Oh, that's what I wanted to use. That's the color I actually wanted to get in there. We're going to take that. We're going to kind of dot the fur around the different places, and we'll go back in and we will put, once it dries a bit, and we will put whites. Now I'm gonna add the water to this egg, and I'm gonna go to my beautiful blue, and we're just gonna let the water spread the paint and dab out a little bit here and there and pull it over here and over there so we have a dark. Go to my color blends. We want to have some darks and some light areas. Yeah, see, we have that. I'm going to take some of the green here in this mixture that I have happening, and I'm going to get a little purple. Oops, whoa, too much water. So there's a little lesson and and a happy accident, of which we always have happy accidents. I mean, you can't really get around not having a happy accident here and there, as Bob Ross used to say. So I have, which was my inspiration when I was young for painting. So here we have, you know, a nice combination of purples and blue for this egg, okay? That's that one. Then I'm going to take a little bit of the white, and I'm going to kind of just go like this for highlights around this flower and this one for some highlight. And I see another little flower that I missed here, so we're going to go right like this. Also, the acrylic yellow also gives a little bit of texture along with it, so it kind of adds to everything. I just went into yellow ochre, adding that into there, so I've got, you know, some depth going on even with the flowers. So kind of put another one here, and I think what I'm going to do is put another one. And as you get painting, you'll see these things as you go. You don't really see it that much at first, but you will get so that you see these things that, oh, that's not in the picture, but I want that there, or, you know, stuff like that. Okay, some sepia. That around it like that. So we got some cute little flowers there. I have to swish my brush around a lot to get the paint off that's acrylic, so you don't mix it in with your paints. I have separate little containers for my acrylic paints. All right, and then I think what I'd like to do, I'm gonna get a little purple here, and up here, dabbing in different places. Just dab it around where I think I might see it in my mind, or the picture shows you, whatever, you know. And they're just these little purple parts of these stems, flower parts. And you can take some, I'm gonna take some yellow ochre, and I'm gonna dab those around. Just dabbing them here and there. You know, Easter is so colorful, so, all right. Now I am actually gonna take some of my yellow, and I'm gonna add some of my white to highlight that white a little bit. I'm gonna come over here and add that, a little more white, I guess, to this side of my flowers, because this is my, I'm choosing it to be my whoops, got that yellow there. I'm choosing this to be my highlight side. Get that off, we just have to, there we go. So we'll put some of this like this, and then this is his right side of fur. his tummy. I have another tutorials on Easter, so you can go check those out if you like. And I'm coming around here to get these. What you want to always remember is that you need dark to bring out the light. So you need darks and you need lights. The light's not going to stand out if there's no dark around it to make it stand out. So just keep that in mind when you're painting all the time. Wow, I can't believe that snow is still coming down. Oh, well, looks like another 3 or 4 inches maybe. All right, so we're going to, I think I'll go into this yellowish color here. I don't know what it is about this particular brush, but this one here just doesn't seem to want to work like some of the others, as well as some of the others I've found. I have no idea why. The tip's not holding up to painting like the others are of this. There, it's an artist loft. The others are great, but for some reason this, take my sweater off. Whoops, I'm sorry, folks. Inevitably, I always end up hitting that camera. All right, so we're doing pretty good here. We're getting, you know, a lot of it done. It may be a 2-part, but I don't really want it to be a 2-part, so I'm really kind of trying to move along. All right, I'm going to add some dark here. Yeah, I need to get my moving along hand going here. Maybe it will be a second, there will be a second part. Yeah, there will, because I want to finish this part and then I want to be able to decorate the back, so it's not just white. So let's just go and let's just get some eggs decorated here. We're going to put a light coat of red on this one, and then go back into another red and just sort of highlight. Get the dark areas in here. Leave that nice white, area for highlight. Maybe put a little bit of purple as well. Because there's water, it's all going to move around. Okay, and then let's come over to this one, and we're going to do this one purple first. So let's try to remember, which is, I always talk about how it took me forever to do this, but you see how I'm leaving a white area to this egg? I'm leaving it. Even before I take anything out, I'm just leaving the white. That's how you really highlight in watercolor. But you can always definitely go back in like this and take it out. You can even go back in after and use whites, different kind of whites. Oops, I just wet the wrong one. Okay, I don't want to get close to the purple one yet. I don't want them to bleed too much yet. Now I'm going to go into yellow. And we're going to, so, in your concentrating, at first you're concentrating so much, it's so hard to remember all the little things that, you got to remember when you're first learning it. So I don't know how many times I'd go in, I'd have little notes here and little notes there, and it's like, Janine, you've got to remember to leave some white. No, every time I would get going, it's like, oh no, I forgot to leave the white. But after a while, sometimes a long while, you will get to that point. Don't get discouraged with anything. Just give yourself the time you need to learn this medium. It's not an easy medium. That's the one thing. It's not. It's rather difficult, but it's beautiful. So once you get a few things under your belt and you understand more, then you're like, oh, golden. You're just like, oh. And then you're having a lot more fun because you're not worrying, so much about what didn't I remember. Okay, so now we got a red one, a yellowish one, a purplish one. Let's do a blue one. Except I got to wet it first, so we'll just put water on the brush. See how I'm going, and in my mind I want to leave those little areas white. So I did. And then I'm going to take out a little bit of there, and there's that egg. Now right down underneath here, I'm going to have some little red, teeny weeny little red daisies, I guess is what they are. I'm not really sure. Just some sort of little tiny flowers at the bottom, or wherever you want them. I'm putting them here. And then I'm also going to put some, if I can get it to little white ones as well. They're kind of like a daisy here. And to do this, you put the tip of the brush down, and you press. Tip down, press. Tip down and belly down. Tip, belly. Tip, belly. And that makes that type of a flower with this type of a brush. Okay, and then I will make those whiter again. Now I think we're going to have a green, dark green egg here. This is actually pearline green. I love that color. It's such a rich, beautiful color. It really is. And then above it, I think we're going to just have a light green. I'm going to take it right from the color, the one I just made, actually. Get some darks right by the basket, because that would be shaded. All right, let's see if I can take out a little more highlight on this one. So that's going in. Wet your brush, wipe it off, wipe it off. It's gonna have to be good enough. I guess I waited too long. All right, and then I think probably we've got some really nice purple. This is the I think this is this is the Indian yellow, which is such an incredibly beautiful color. Yep, he's out there getting the ice and stuff off the roof. It must be like so many inches of it at this point. Busy. Oh, orange, that's it. We haven't put an orange one in here yet. Okay, so let's come over here. Move the water around a little bit just to get the okay, and then put a little red in there at the base of the center type thing, like this. And then take a little white, just to have that little lighter on that side, going into some sepia, putting that in the center of that one, and around the yellows of this one. And then I'm not sure, I think I've got a metallic gold here, so I'm going to take this metallic gold and I am going to use that along with some yellow ochre for this one on the edge here. Take out some for highlight, and then if the light hits it just right, you'll see the metallic gold. I'm going to take that also, and I'm going to put it in his fur. I think that'd be really pretty on there. And I'm also going to wisp it around the basket area here. And you know what? We're going way too long for the video, so I'm going to stop this now. I mean, it's really cute. Really, really coming out cute. And then the next part too, we'll finish his head, and then we'll finish some decoration around the outside, you know, the area here around it all. So I hope you enjoy this. This is another Easter tutorial, Easter Bunny tutorial, and I'll be doing some more for sure. Check out my other videos as well. I've got a lot of different kinds. It's a new channel, but you know, there's a lot of, I'm trying to get them out there as fast as I can. And you'll get a lot of helpful tips and techniques, and you'll in the way I paint. But everybody paints differently. There's a few things we all do the same, so to speak, but basically we paint the way we paint, each one of us. So I hope you're, you know, getting some paper and brushes and paints and just kind of following along, or you can always follow along after, you know, watch it, zoom in, slow it down, and all that kind of thing to help yourself learn the art of watercolor. And like I'm doing mixed media. You don't have to. Some people don't even believe in it, but it just doesn't matter. It's whatever you want to paint because you're the painter. So have a great rest of your day, folks, and bye for now.